and I hope that everyone just has a great Christmas. So we're going to start here with a moment of silence, and okay, thank you. Mr. Pace, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I must say that was the best.
Wasn't that
They were on top of it.
Okay, first item on the docket today is approval of the agenda that we have. Is there a motion that we approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Motion and a second. No discussion. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Okay. Second item is approval of minutes from the regular council meeting November 19th, 2024. Is there a motion that we accept?
I make, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next section is public comment. Public comment is limited to 5 minutes, and if you have anything to address council with, now is the time. Please come forward. Does anybody have any public comments? Any public comments? Okay. Last call.
I can just do it right here, right?
What if you come forward, please? State, and listen, when we do this, please state your name and your address.
My address?
Yes, ma'am.
So my name is Brenda Rodriguez. Address is 204 East South Boundary Street.
Okay.
And I just want to appreciate the opportunity and the recognition for this team. They really tried. They played with their hearts every single game. They've practiced very, very hard, long nights, cold nights, and we, parents, community, we really appreciate this, and I want to say thank you for this.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
you.
you. We appreciate you, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Well done. We have no mayoral proclamations today, so we'll move into the first and final reading of resolutions. We'll start with resolution 2024-14, a resolution to present the life-saving award. And I'd like Corporal Jurdy and members of the Walhalla Fire Department, if you're here, please come forward. Now I'm going to read the resolution because this is the true heroism that is emblematic of our police and fire departments who serve us, and you all go above and beyond. And I thank you for that on behalf of the city of Walhalla. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are heroes. A resolution recognizing the heroic actions of Corporal Jurday and the members of the Walhalla Fire Department in a life-saving incident. Whereas on September 9th, 2024, at approximately 10:50 a.m., Corporal Jurday of the Walhalla Police Department was dispatched to a motor vehicle collision at the Walhalla Post Office. And whereas Corporal Jurday and Walhalla Fire Department personnel, including firefighters Trevor Marrow and Austin Chastain, and volunteer firefighter David Watson immediately collaborated to assess the driver's condition, remove the driver from the vehicle, and initiated life-saving measures. And whereas Corporal Jerde began administering CPR while firefighters Merrill, Chastain, and Watson worked together to provide essential support, including stabilizing the scene, assisting with patient care, and ensuring the safe and rapid arrival of paramedics. And whereas the unified and swift actions of Corporal Jerde and the firefighters Merrill, Chastain, and Watson played a critical role in sustaining the driver's condition until paramedics arrived to continue medical care and transport the driver to the emergency room. And whereas it was later determined that due to the immediate and coordinated efforts of Corporal Jerde, firefighter Trevor Merrill, firefighter Austin Chastain, and volunteer firefighter David Watson, the driver made a full recovery. Whereas the actions of these public servants exemplify the highest standards of professionalism, dedication, and commitment to the safety and well-being of the citizens of Walhalla. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and City Council of Walhalla, South Carolina, that we extend our deepest gratitude to Corporal Jerde, firefighter Trevor Morrow, firefighter Austin Chastain, and to volunteer firefighter David Watson for their selfless act. Is there a motion that we accept this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I can't thank these guys enough for coming out and assisting, helping my wife when she came home the first time. Falls here and there, I can't thank y'all enough.
We're just doing what we
You
love.
deserve every accolade that you get.
We're glad you love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Oh, yeah.
Any more discussion?
Just thank you for all y'all do.
Absolutely.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you all. Let's go out, and what I'd like to do is get our picture taken together, and then I'd like to stay out there while we do the next resolution for our 10 and under soccer team. So,
We're going right here?
we're just gonna walk out and go around,
Okay.
have our photo made with them. Recognize the champions.
Bro walked up and searched up Riz app on his phone. Bro searches up on Riz app. Riz app.
Get behind you fellas here.
Let me find my spot in the back.
Yeah.
We have the rest, would you hold the rest of the everybody see.
Are we centered for you?
We'll shoot for the hole.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
You have everybody in the picture?
Good. Yes. I think they deserve another round of applause. You wanna just read it from here?
Thank you. Man, thank you so much.
Good up. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for all you do for us.
We're gonna have to put the boys up along it right here. Right on the bar. That'd be good. Yeah, no, let's do it.
Okay, we're ready for the champions. Yeah, you did Walhalla proud too, so you guys are great. You guys are great. We're gonna read a resolution in honor of you guys and your success tonight. And thank you again for being such good athletes. And this is a testament, by the way, to the parents, the coaches, and the quality of our recreation department. This is just, this really speaks well of Walhalla that you guys have done so well. Whereas the city of Walhalla recognizes the importance of sports and recreation in fostering teamwork, discipline, and community spirit. Whereas under the guidance of their coaches, Cesar Sosa, Jario Hernandez, the team consisting of Axel Bloom, David Quintero, Carlson Kraft, Noah Dowdery, Julio Hernandez, Jeremy Kinnymore, Tucker Linares, Andre Macias, Jaden Rodriguez, Aiden Rubio, Lucas Smith, Cesar Sosa, Isaac Suarez, William Tatum, and Ivan Uribe distributed exceptional teamwork and dedication to achieve the title of 10 under district soccer champions. And whereas the Walhalla recreation team has demonstrated exceptional skill, dedication, and sportsmanship throughout their season, culminating in their victory as district champions. And whereas this achievement reflects the hard work and commitment of players, coaches, parents, and supporters who have contributed to the success of the team. And whereas the team's success brings pride and recognition to the city of Walhalla, showcasing the talent and determination of our youth. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and city council of the city of Walhalla, South Carolina, that we extend our congratulations to the Walhalla Recreation Soccer Team for their outstanding accomplishment in winning the district championship. And gentlemen, you succeeded in more than just winning. You succeeded in being good sportsmen. And a lot of times, life's not about just winning. Life's about how you win. And it's about teamwork. It's about caring for each other. And there's no way you could have achieved what you achieved if you did not do this. So take that lesson with you also. Do I have a motion we accept this resolution?
I make a motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Gentlemen?
We're just proud of you. Proud of the way you represent the city and look forward to as you guys grow up and represent us even more.
And I'll add that if it wasn't for the involvement of your parents and community, I think the championship would have not gone as far. So thank you so much, mom, dads, grandpa, grandmas, everybody out there, tios, tias, uncles, right? So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's
Good
give them
job,
up.
We got a vote? All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay. It was unanimous. All right.
All right. So on behalf of the council, you're gonna get a special treat. So once you get your resolution, would it be towards the end after the picture?
I was kind of proud. I'd be a little chip right
All right.
Who's the tallest?
Get behind.
Who gets tall? Tall. You get it? Who else? Yes, pretty tall.
The strong ones put my arm in there. I'm not.
This guy right here, he probably
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
right here.
Excuse me, Josh.
Yeah, you wanna come up front just a little bit?
All right.
Okay, thank you.
We got a lot of cameras out there now.
Okay. You boys should be used to this, right?
Yeah.
Dick, your radio, what are you doing with the
All right,
camera?
so let's say go Razorbacks on the first. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Great job, folks. Good job.
Yes, let's get the coaches here.
Oh, absolutely.
Coaches. Okay, go ahead, let's get back on the, you want the kids too on the, yeah, okay? I think this will too soon.
All right, so everybody get back over here. Let's do this.
Get a coach
Come
over
on,
there.
boys, get back in your spot.
And Josh, all the tall in the back.
Absolutely. Great job, guys.
All right, let's step a little bit in the back.
Okay.
You got everybody? Are we complete? Yes? Okay. All right, let's do that Razorback cheer one more time. One,
it down.
2, 3.
Go Razorbacks!
Oh, we can do better. One more time. Yes. Go Razorbacks. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Go Razorbacks!
Get one of each.
Hey, man, great job, man. Thank you for coaching here. Thank you for coaching. Absolutely. Get out here.
I scored. Oh, you get it. Oh, my bad. No, you can't get it. I got 2 though. I got 1. I got 2 on accident, bro. I got 2. No, you get. Yeah, you get 2. Yeah, you run a bad one.
Are you rolling? No wonder they put the score right here.
Anyways,
Luke, you get one of each. You get one.
You only get 1 of each. You're fine, bro.
She was a fairly nice lady. She was open to listening to our suggestions in the department, so.
Fairly nice.
Well, I met her at a Christmas party today, so she was really nice. You know,
They feel like
I think I work for the Department of Office Okay, great. We actually had Director Leach was also there. She was from Social Service. Michael Leach. He was also there. So, but all right. So now it's you and I and thinking who would have known. Thank you for this.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Turn anything on?
Wow, it got quiet.
I'm used to that.
Hey, work followed you
The
home.
work followed me home, yeah. I'm used to that.
oh, no, you're good.
Hey, are you eating this stuff?
I need a peppermint, cause I'm ready.
Come on, man.
That's
We
pretty
got,
good little left-handed.
yeah, here we go.
Oh, I didn't get it on the
We're
right.
all,
I'm right-handed.
I'm okay, thank you.
No, I just need a peppermint.
Lauren, did you get a candy cane?
I
I
just,
did, yes.
Okay.
they're sitting in front of me and it's like, I'm gonna give in.
Make sure everybody got one. Dick got one.
I did, thank you.
The season of giving.
Grant just wants some
How's the
excuse to throw
Egyptian
candy at me.
contingent? You want some? Okay.
Okay, next item on the agenda. Back to my agenda. Since we've had a great moment with our soccer team, do we have the video going in here? Oh, we're filming here, okay,
You never know, one of these days, some of those will be sitting right here.
that's right. I hope, that's the idea, is to
Yep.
and have the community spirit, and have them carry the baton forward each time.
They said the pledge like they were gonna be.
That's right.
I already know, it gave me chills.
Best pledge I've heard up here in 5 years.
It's pretty strong.
And speaking of carrying the baton, our next resolution is to name the park at Brown Square, not Brown Square, but the park at Brown Square that we've taken on after the late Dennis A. Owens. Do I have a motion that we accept it?
Make a motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I'd like to discuss it. I'm all for naming the park, anything after Dennis, that's fine. It has nothing to do with that. I think we got a little ahead of ourselves here because, we don't know if we're gonna keep Brown Square. And, I feel that if we name the park there after Dennis, and then we don't keep Brown Square because we sell it, then what are we doing? We're selling off Dennis and his name, and I don't think that's appropriate. I think we need to first decide what we're gonna do with that property before we, name it after anybody.
Any discussion, Mr. Holliday?
I understand that. I mean, that's, I don't know having a discussion, but that could be a possibility.
Mr. Pace?
I'd like for Miss Melendez to explain her explanation on this whole thing, so it's better understood. Actually, just the naming of the essence of the park, per se.
Yeah, so it was a team effort. So prior to the previous council, we had other elected officials considering bringing some elements to recognize Dennis in other conversations, but nothing ever really came about. And I think it was because we also needed to figure out what you just mentioned, Grant, but on that comment, I would just say we had a whole year to bring it up in any committee about that property. And I think there is a consensus that that property right now is owned by the city of Walhalla. And the whole Brown Square, by the way, maybe Tammy can help me out here, because this is a conversation had. The whole Brown Square is more than just the green part. Okay, it includes the Coney History Museum, all that square, Madam Chef, all of that. That's the Brown Square.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I
Yeah,
thought
that's
we're
the-
talking about the empty lot, catty corner across from, the police
The
station.
green space.
Yeah, where
That's-
the sales are, where the sales were.
Yes, so the whole Brown Square, has its name already by Arthur Brown, who was a former member of the community.
Mayor.
Thank you. I've heard some stories about him through other constituents, but that is still named, that is still that. That is no changing of that. It's the green spot, the green space that is gonna be named after the park. And there's those conversations we had, so if that's helpful, Keith, just to bring some history behind it. And then it came about in other individual conversations from the council, and then finally in our PRT committee, we had a conversation about that. I understand some council members had other obligations, including myself, traveling, so that probably impacted communication, so I'll take responsibility on my end, but I think this really has a touch to it, what we want to see as we move forward with recognizing.
So what part is it that you wanna name for Dennis?
The green space.
The green
The
area.
green space, but that is
That
the
is
part
the park.
that we still don't know if we're keeping. So,
I'm gonna add that this went unanimously through committee, and this is not the first time we've discussed this. So, this has been discussed, and I thought it was a consensus to maintain that land and make it for the city, for the citizens of Walhalla to utilize as a space where we have events. We don't own any other land downtown. We don't own the green space by Arby's. We don't own the food truck lot. The only thing we own downtown for the city is that land. And I think the consensus was that we needed a presence there for the community. It's a valuable asset to our festivals. It's something that's just an essential element of what we do when we bring people in for the July 4th Festival, for any number of festivals, Hispanic Heritage, a number of different events. So, and I was laboring under the assumption that since this passed through committee unanimously, that naming it after and proposal to name this after a city councilman who passed while in the service of the city of Walhalla. And granted, he's not the only one. There are others that we need to look at. Folks that passed in the service of the city of Walhalla, we need to recognize them. We need to make sure that those who were in service that have passed on are recognized. And this is the beginning, I would think. I think there are others that were also dedicated to this city that we need to recognize, not forget. And so, but again, this passed unanimously through our committee, and this is, I understood everyone was in favor of this.
Well, maybe we ought to have a vote if we're going to make this a park first. And then we can have a vote for naming it, you know, cause I'm not of consensus that should be a park there. So I never was. So I'm fine if that's what the council wants to do, is to make that a park, then I'm fine for naming it after Dennis. I got no problem with that. I just wanna know, let's do it in order. Let's make a vote and set that aside as a park if that's what you wanna do.
Someone could make a motion, I suppose, to accept the resolution and at the same time, confirming that the city is the intent of the city council to make this a city park. I mean, it can be done in one resolution, made that in that format, and put the issue to rest once and for all.
Well, I sat right there in that chair, I think it was in 2020, when we purchased that. And Dick was probably here when I said it, that the city should never sell that when we bought it. I have no intention of, other than when we were struggling this past budget and we discussed it.
We would regret for
And
the next
that is,
generation. if we sold.
that is our only place on Main Street for events and our city citizens to hang out. So I don't never propose selling it, you know, but we never know what's coming up, but.
Right, and thank you for mentioning that, if I may, there's, also conversation, and Josh, you know, you and I talked about this, about having like a steering committee, a design team, so that way we're not doing something that is, not foreseeing what the future could hold for this park, and also being mindful that if it's something, whether it's gonna be concrete, but something tangible that could still be moved, we wanna really plan, thoughtfully through this and with purpose. That's why the green square is still known as the brown square, but the space where it's apart, and I think what I hear you say, Mr. Keene, is that you probably saw that as a potential asset to whatever idea, right? But that really goes back to like communication back to the city administrator, bring that up as a conversation. But this whole year, I think I've been seeing that was gonna be an asset owned by the city, not for sale, to stay with the community.
Yeah, that's been my understanding the whole time, so.
And I think Keith, you mentioned a couple years ago, yeah, that reflects that, so.
Well, I'll make the motion then. If we want to designate that as a park, we'll designate it as a park and name for Dennis for the resolution.
Motion that we name this that we concretize this, make sure that this is a city park for the enjoyment and use of the citizens of Walhalla and not liquidate it. And name it after Dennis A. Owens. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Excuse me, just point of order. We have a
I
motion
need to-
already, so
I
this
need
is
to-
gonna be an amendment
amendment to the
to
motion.
the motion. So we just need a
Amendment to the
second
motion,
for the.
okay. There's the
Excuse me.
amendment. Okay, thank you, Ms. Myers.
Just for
Always
clarity,
keeping us
just for
straight.
clarity,
Sorry.
Just for clarity, Mr. Mayor, if the right person came on the right money, I would do a 99-year lease on that piece of property in a heartbeat. Hotel chain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to promote Walhalla in a heartbeat.
I would say one of the reasons, I hear what you're saying, but I would say one of the reasons that they'd want to do that is because of the quality of life here, the events that we have, and we are attracted because of those things, and that park is a large component of it.
I make a motion that we table this and look into this.
But we've got a motion
Okay.
right now, a motion to an amendment that I've seconded.
Well, that takes precedence.
Yeah,
Point of order,
what takes?
doesn't it?
precedence?
Motion to table?
No, sir.
No.
There's a motion to amend.
It-
this-
it-
this-
There hasn't been a second yet.
I seconded it.
Okay.
So,
And then Mr. Kenny wanted clarity, but then you mentioned your comment about the hotel. So that's where it kind of, after you said your motion, your second, Kenny wanted clarity, but you chimed in for a comment. So the clarity you needed, it was for the second or the?
No, but just make a comment. Somebody came on the right amount of money, do the 99-year lease, hotel or something, I'd vote for that in a heartbeat.
He just had a comment, I think. Is that-
Comment.
Okay.
Point of order.
Okay, so we have an amendment, you
I
seconded
seconded
it?
his amendment, let's vote on the amendment.
Okay, so we can vote on that item right now, and then depending on whether that passes or not, then you can make a change or a different motion to table.
Yep,
Okay,
there's already
and,
an
and he can second the amendment.
Of course I can.
Yes,
There's an active motion.
it is, each member is still a voting
Right,
member.
there's an active motion right
Yes.
now, so yours cannot supersede that, it has to go this way. Motion second. Okay, any discussion on, more discussion on the amendment? Motion, amendment, Mr. Holliday, any discussion on the amendment? Mr. King? Mr. Pace? Mr. Thomas? Ms. Melendez?
The amendment is,
To keep it as a park.
To declare it a park.
Declare the
To
park.
designate.
No more discussion. Okay, all those in favor of declaring it as a park, please raise your hand. Let's make sure we've got the count here. Okay, 4. All those opposed? Okay, passed 4-2. Now there's another motion on the, a motion, Mr. Keene has made a motion to table the
Well,
motion
it's been
as amended.
passed, so.
No, it's just the
Just the amendment
amendment
Oh, the
to,
amendment passed.
yes, it is
Okay.
just an
Yeah,
amendment
I-
to
Your motion is
the
up.
motion that we
Yeah,
have,
so
so
I-
it has not passed
I make
yet.
a motion to table this until this can be further investigated.
second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this, Mr. Thomas?
No, there's no discussion on my part.
Ms. Melendez?
No, but just a comment to say that there is intentional efforts with the new PRT being hired, that there is going to be some designing that is thoughtful and purposeful to maximize that capacity, and also intentional to make sure that it's also worth, obviously, the investment of that. And we already have supporters to donate through the foundation of PRT for that specific task. So there is a plan, and I know that that goes back to communication from your council. And I think moving forward with the new year, we'll make sure that those plans get in the forefront of Ms. Olivia and PRT and all that. So that's all my comment.
Mr. Johns?
Second.
Mr. Holliday? Mr. King? Mr. Pace?
Just like to add that regardless of how this goes, if it does pass this resolution like we're discussing, that there would be actually probably nothing pertained up there until these such plans are laid out and designated how the park's gonna be arranged. Because I would not want some memorial put there and then have to move it and have, discussion from the public, why did we do this and now we're moving it?
Fair point.
So if, if this moves forward, I'd just like to make that known that this will be a resolution, but there would be no action right away on the property.
I think that's a fair point. Let's do it right. When we do it, let's do it right the first time. Okay. That is the motion and the motion is to table this. My comment on it is I think it's pretty black and white, and I would not support tabling this. Okay, all those in favor of, let's go with all those in favor of tabling it first. Please raise your hand. Okay. 2 votes in favor of tabling. All those opposed to tabling this? Okay. Now we're back to the motion as amended. Is there a motion that we accept, the motion is amended, which is declare this a park and name it after, Dennis A. or former councilman Dennis A. Is there a motion for that?
We already have
Yes.
the motion and the amendment, so
Oh,
it's
we
just
got the motion,
discussion.
we got it, okay.
Yes, it's just discussion now.
Okay, we got discussion, okay. Thank you for keeping us straight.
Sorry.
All right. Any more discussion, Mr. Thomas, Ms. Melendez, Mr. Johns,
I know what I've been beat.
Mr. Holliday, Mr. King, Mr. Pace. All those in favor, raise your right hand, then I'll read the resolution. If it passes. Okay. Passes 5-1.
I think it's 6-1.
It's
isn't it?
6-1.
6-1, thank you, yes. Yeah, I'd like to read the resolution. Gwen, would you come forward? Whereas Dennis A. Owen served with distinction as a member of the Walhalla City Council, dedicating his time, energy, and vision to the betterment of the community he deeply cared for. And whereas during his tenure on the Walhalla City Council, Dennis A. Owen played an instrumental role in shaping policies and initiatives that enhance the quality of life for residents of Walhalla. And whereas Dennis A. Owen passed away while in office, leaving a lasting legacy of leadership, integrity, and commitment to public service. And whereas the Walhalla City Council wishes to honor the memory and contributions of Dennis A. Owen by renaming the park at Brown Square in his honor. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Walhalla, South Carolina, the park at Brown Square shall hereby be named the Dennis A. Owen Memorial Park in recognition of his outstanding service and dedication to the city of Walhalla.
Thank you very much. And if you all knew Dennis, he was never without words. But this would be one time the only time I ever knew him without words. He said, wow. So tonight would be a wow.
Beautiful. Shall we get our picture?
Thank you.
Come on.
Absolutely.
No, that's wrong. We've got Memorial on one end.
We'll just move it down the street.
Uh,
We'll find a place. Oh, thank you. Oh, he loved y'all.
Well, I'm happy to see it named after Dennis. It's just to tie it in with a piece of property I thought it should be somewhere else. But I'm happy to have it.
You have your thoughts.
But I'm happy to have it named after him.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, do we have a?
It's a former councilwoman, Gwen
I know.
Owens.
Yeah.
Also served.
I forgot about that.
Do we have the resolution?
Oh, you wanna give her, I don't know if that's your,
And we'll have an amended resolution just to.
Oh, okay.
We'll make the changes that we voted on right there. So we'll get this one right now.
Can you be seen? Come on, come on.
I'm pretty good at
There
hiding.
we go. Maybe center. Let's see. All right, we're good.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, I'm overwhelmed.
Well, you met Ms. Olivia Martin, so you're now officially our PRT director.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, the administrator's report. Ms. Myers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In your packet, you will find our monthly reports for each department. A lot of these were going into in depth at our committee meeting, so I won't rehash it tonight since we had quite a lengthy committee meeting a couple of weeks ago. A couple of things that I will bring to your attention. We do have 2 new members to our staff, Mr. Cameron Rankin with our water crew department and Cameron Wood with our fire department. So we want to welcome the 2 of them. And then also mentioned that the Cane Creek sewer line rehabilitation has started. We do have our second SCIP funded project, which deals with the Rocky Knoll pump station upgrade. That one is out for bid right now. It will close in January. And I spoke with our engineering consultant today. We expect that the final bid for the water lines on the west end of town, that we will have that ready by the end of this year and that we can get that one out for bid. If not at the end of this year, first week of 2025. So we're excited about those 3 projects moving fairly fast now and getting this going. If you have any other questions, I'll do my best to answer them, or I'll find the answer.
Just to sum up, the amount of work that we've done on water and sewer on the grants, the SCIP grant and also the Pasco County grant, it's been $7.2 million either completed or out for bid this year.
We have another one that's out for bid right now. We have not received those yet, but yes.
Okay, and then we have $5 million more to go next year that we need to put out for bid.
One is out for bid right now, and then the other, if it's not out for bid by the end of this year, will be very beginning. And yes, it is the other roughly $5+ million from the SCIP grant award that we received from RIA.
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Myers about the administrative report? Stump House jumps out. Any questions about Stump House? Signs up, paving's done.
The signs are, we have 1 additional sign being done. They are excavating for the guard shack this week.
And revenue from Stump House to date is,
I can get that for you.
and I will add that I believe the road down to Stump House now is even better than it was before after the paving.
It is.
We had to repair the Helene damage and came out even better than it was.
This is a couple of weeks ago. I do not have the last 18 days, but prior to that, we were a little over $39,000. And then a little bit more for the rental, $250 for it.
Okay, how far are we from what we budgeted to be at this point?
We are less. We did have a hurricane and with the.
I was about to say,
yeah.
the hurricane attack.
And then with
hurricane-
the culvert coming out, we lost 2 very popular weekends in the fall, as well as about a week and a half, for those events. We are off at the moment. We had a few other things that increased, so we're moving forward.
Okay. How much are we off? I know that's gonna be the question on people's minds.
And the Stump House turnover right now currently is under the public safety, fire, police, it's under that.
It is a hybrid between our police and our PRT. The park ranger is in our police department. I mean, it's under the tunnel budget. that answers to, our chief of police, who is the superintendent and oversees the park. So we would like to be at approximately 60,000 right now, so we're about 20 off.
Okay. Well, that tracks with the Hurricane Helene and the other.
It does.
Anybody have any more questions? I say commend Russ for the quality of the sanitation monthly report I'm looking at right now. Well done, really well done. Please commend him for that. Okay, if there's nothing else, let's move on to we have no second final reading and public review of ordinances. We do have first reading of ordinances, and Ms. Myers, please take it away. And this is an ordinance to amend ordinance 2022-08 regarding public comments.
Yes, sir. I was tasked to create an ordinance for your review that would amend ordinance 2022-08 regarding the rules of city council meetings. And the proposal is that the public comment section, which if you'll look at Roman numeral 6 on your agenda, it states limited to 5 minutes per city ordinance 2208. To amend that to say 3 minutes as opposed to 5 minutes, and to limit that section to a total of 30 minutes in its entirety, with the ability to extend that either by the presiding officer or majority of council. And that is what.
You researched this with other public entities in the county?
I did, depending on the jurisdiction, it varies. I've seen 3 a lot. I have seen 5 as well. I have seen both with and without the maximum. Although it does seem to be a little more popular now. I believe the county is 3 minutes, but they limit theirs, I believe, to 50 total.
50 minutes total, 3 minutes a person, this county council? What about city of Westminster?
3 minutes.
Maximum? No maximum. City of Seneca?
5 minutes.
Maximum? No maximum, okay.
And according to the state, each municipality has the ability to set their own rules. And so it is within, the provisions provided by the state that you can do this should you wish to proceed.
Okay, so this is first reading, so we can discuss this further, or is there a motion that we,
I'll make a motion.
there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, okay, let's discuss, let's go around the table. Mr. Holliday.
The only problem I have with saying a maximum is folks need to be heard. They need to be given an opportunity to be heard. Now, I don't wanna sit in here for 8 hours and listen to public comment for 8 hours. But I don't think we should put a max on that, with folks that have come for public speaking. You know, if they feel passionate about something and they wanna speak to us and we have a big thing going on, all of our citizens should be heard.
Mr. King.
Yeah, I feel the same way. 5 minutes, this has happened where it's been longer than 30 minutes, I think twice in the 3 years I've been here. And I wouldn't want to just stop anybody's 5 minutes. I'd want to let them have 5 minutes. And I wouldn't want to stop. I mean, two times, I'm happy to sit here. I mean, if we're not willing to do that, why are we here? And, but my question is why? I don't know who tasked you with this, but why? would we wanna change it now? Do you wanna tell me who tasked you with it? Cause I'm gonna ask them, why?
I think you can maintain that confidentiality. Someone comes to.
Well, did anybody here task her with it? I mean, if you tasked her with it, come on, fess up and I wanna know why.
I have no problem, I was one that brought it up, I guess initially.
Okay.
I felt like, just looking at other places, 3 minutes, and county council the same way. Just 3 minutes, it's like, why don't we just do 3 minutes?
Okay.
If it's 3 minutes, let's go through the discussion. Anything further, Mr. King?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a big one ahead of us. The second thing that happened here was annexation. This place was filled. And that is on our docket right now. We've had that in committee meetings, annexation. And it'll be filled again for that. And it just really, you might not have put those two together, but that's gonna stink to the people that are gonna wanna come out and talk to that with that looming large over the city, annexation. Cause we're gonna spend a long night here that night, cause we already have done that last year. So if this is something that's viable, which I'm not in favor at all, but if it is, certainly don't do it before this, or people are just gonna think it's bad optics.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with if the census is 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but I have an issue with a cap. Years ago, I was one of these people that was up here, and if my voice hadn't have been heard in the 60 that was with me, we'd have had a problem. And with me sitting here now and representing citizens of this town, and they have something to say, and I don't have the time to listen to it, I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah.
And I don't expect anybody else. So, if we wanna adjust the time frame for each person, I don't have a problem with that. But they all have to be heard. And like Grant said, I think it's happened twice.
Yeah.
I've been here 5 years, and it's happened them 2 times that he's been here.
I'm not gonna oppose it by any stretch.
I'm gonna end with you. I'm gonna go to Mr. Johns next.
Well, I don't have a problem with not reducing it from 5 to 3, but the catch-all is that the presiding officer, you or Mayor Pro Tem have an option to allow more time or allow more total time. I don't have a problem with that. There's a catch-all there.
Mm-hmm.
And your authority or Mayor Pro Tem's authority will extend that. Extend the total time, extend 3 to 5 or 3 to 7, extend 30 to an hour. I don't have a problem with that.
Ms. Melendez.
Well, it's not unusual to look, on council here, it's not unusual to look at policies that already been in place, to review them and bring them back to the surface. So whoever, Mr. Grant, going back to some of the comments of figuring out who brought it up and all that, it's not unusual for any committee or anybody to bring a policy up in general to make some changes. So that's normal in government, and that's healthy in government to do. So for me, in my past experience, I think just if this research was done with this, I think it does, like Kitty mentioned, maybe having something that let us know in advance, just because there's science to back it up too. If you're not having a healthy diet and you're getting all of this, blood sugar can cause you to not, people that have probably a medical diagnosis or something. So I'm saying that from a person who has a family of history of diabetes, and if we don't have something sugar or something available and we're extensing, then we already prolong our dinner time and we have a long time here, it's just letting us know in advance too. Maybe there's some conversations of that. So the max here for 30 minutes, I think that's just putting some boundaries, but I hear what my council members are saying about everybody needing to be heard. So I think I'm willing to work with it, to be flexible, to have some support from other councils to come in.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, no, I understand from Grant's perspective about the bad optics. At the end of the day, if you have a 3-minute cap, or you have a 3-minute cap per person, but there's no cap in terms of how many people want to speak. I'm sure some people that would like to speak would probably really happy to speak if they got there a little bit sooner than they would be if there's a long line of people versus, 20 people ahead of them that are gonna use their entire 5 minutes, especially if they're repeating the same things and things like that. So, I think if there's no cap, then, I don't really see an issue of why you would, why anybody would have an issue with 3 minutes, especially when it's precedent somewhere else. So I mean, I don't know if I necessarily answered your why, but I mean, I feel like you could probably get more people in. More people might actually speak too if it's a hot topic item. And I know we will. I think our council has committed to being a no can kicking council, and so there's going to be a lot of cans that some people are going to be really excited that we are picking up, and there's other ones that's like, man, nobody wanted to touch that with a 10-foot pole before, but here we are. So, 3 minutes is, I think it's reasonable considering the fact that it's already happening in other places, particularly in the county.
Okay, anyone else?
But I'd also be in favor of not having a cap.
And the cap is the 30-minute, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's 10, 30, 5 minutes, the cap of 30 minutes only.
It can be extended by the presiding officer, mayor pro tem, right, correct?
Whoever's the presiding officer, I would imagine that would be the case.
That's the way it's worded, or the majority of council.
Okay.
Which allows flexibility.
I'd like to make a motion to amend this and strike the 30-minute cap.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion to amend this and strike the second, 30-second cap. Motion and a second. Any discussion on that form, Mr. Holliday?
Nope.
Mr. King?
No, sir.
Mr. Pace?
Nothing other than that. Thank you.
Anybody, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Johns, Mr. Menendez? Only discussion I can say is based on this discussion, it seems like this is something I can support too. And I hear you, people need to be heard, Mr. Pace.
Thank you.
And I kind of underscore that as the importance of listening to the citizens. And also, yes, there will be issues that we raise that are, we believe to be in the best interest of the citizens of Walhalla to at least discuss. And there'll be times that we always want citizen input. This government belongs to the people of Walhalla. It doesn't belong to us sitting here. And we need their input. We need to know what people are thinking and whether they're coming here and speaking to us, this is a democracy, and they should be able to come and speak to their government. Or whether they're sending us emails or contacting us on the phone or talking to us in stores and on the street. This is a democracy. That's the way it works. It reflects the will of the people, and we can't reflect the will of the people if we don't know what the people are thinking. So, motion and a second.
You can't
Yes,
get more grassroots than city council.
You cannot, listen, the last 2 levels of government you can reach out and touch, the only level is local government, and that's what it's about. So, at least on a day-to-day basis. So, got a motion, got a second.
Our former congressman said, when I was mayor, said, I wouldn't do what you do for any amount of money in the world. That's when I was mayor, years ago. I get it now, I get it, I understand.
All right, so, got a motion and a second, any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion, which is?
For the amendment.
The amendment, sorry, the amendment to the motion, which is to amend the ordinance so it will be 3-minute maximum extendable by the chair or by a majority vote of council. By the presiding officer or the majority vote of council with no cap. So, all those in favor of that amendment, raise your hand. Opposed? No. Okay, and then the ordinance is as amended. All of those in favor of the ordinance as amended.
We're still in discussion?
Still.
Yeah, we're discussing. Yeah,
Okay.
we just went through the amendment, we got that, so now we're
I-
discussion.
I think we ought to leave it as it is with 5 minutes. We didn't have problems sitting here. We've had actually, I think, other meetings that have been about the same length, just with the length of things being discussed. And it's not like 2 times in all these years. So I think 5 minutes, that first one, I didn't mind getting run down for 5 minutes by person after person. I mean, I did mind it, but I was fine to sit here and take it. I mean, you ran me down. So,
I didn't.
so, you know, I'm fine with the people having their say. I'm fine with the people having their say. Let them have their time. And it just seems like we're just wanting to, some finished far before that time, and they sat down, they said what they said, and they sat down. But if someone, it takes them longer to say what it says, give them the time, and let them have the time. You know, you're not gonna get 10, but 5, why make it any shorter? It just, we're not here all night, we've never been here all night.
It is extendable by the.
But you gotta do it for
presiding
everybody.
officer.
You gotta do it for everybody. And that's the only time it even comes up. Look what we have. Nobody even speaks for the vast majority of everything. They don't get anyone speaking. That way you're not accused and no one can think, okay, he's not for what I have to say, so he's cutting me off. You're not.
Of course, I don't usually cut people off anyway.
No,
as
you don't.
As you can attest to.
No, it's true. No, Tim, that is, you know, that's, I tell everybody how much I appreciate that you are willing to let people speak. And so, I think, let's leave it at 5. That's my opinion.
Okay, so, we have, okay, the motion that was amended was 3 minutes and no cap. So is there a motion to revert this, if we just?
Mine said just not change anything. Can you make a motion not change anything? You can't do that.
It would keep the cap.
He whispered in my ear, you can make a motion, but I'm thinking.
If you're, you know, you made a comment with no
Yeah. the
point to
motion.
it. You
Well,
have,
You just have to-
I make a motion to dismiss this ordinance.
What?
Is that what you
No, you can't do
do?
that in the
Need
middle of this.
clarity.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Right, now you can make a motion to amend it, or to revert to the original ordinance.
Yeah.
That would do it.
Is that right?
If you would like to change anything, then it's an amendment. Otherwise, it is just discussion to give opinions.
So you can,
And then-
there are two routes right now, Brent. You can make the motion to amend it, the motion to 5 minutes, which puts it back to what it was, really.
Yeah, or you just vote on it.
Or we can vote on it. If it's voted down, then.
It
That's-
stays at 5 minutes.
That's why I didn't make a motion, because I thought, well, it's just up or down, and that makes it.
then
Am I
think
thinking crazy?
I got you.
Okay.
So we're still in discussion?
We're still in discussion.
Yeah, I'm in favor of 3 minutes because I think it gives, quite frankly, more people, if we wanna be here for hours at a time, people have an opportunity to say it and probably a little bit more distinctly, within 3 minutes, but I mean, it's not that we're trying to shy away from it. I think proving that we're gonna take the cap off, and that was already voted by all of us, we have 3 minutes. It's not, we're not setting the precedent here. It's already been done, so, by all means, let people come and talk. I think 3 minutes is satisfactory. And apparently other councils in our county have done the same thing.
And county councils is at 3 minutes, is that right?
Yes.
Ms. Melendez?
We're hearing the people speak. I think as what Josh was saying here, and there's nothing that we're trying to eliminate, is I'm okay with the 3 minutes. Just remove the cap, and I think we already said that we would do that, so 3 minutes sounds fair.
Mr. Johns?
I don't have a problem with 3, like I said, the net is the presiding officer has the option to extend that, so I don't have a problem with 3.
Mr. King noted that puts a target on my head, but okay. Mr. Holliday?
I don't have a problem with 3 or 5, either way, that's good to me.
Mr. King, anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for 5,
All right.
so I'm gonna vote against it.
All right, so, Mr. Pace, and my comments on it are, I don't have a problem with changing it to 3, just because, as Mr. Thomas noted, and I don't have a problem with 5 that much either, but I don't have a problem moving it to 3. As Mr. Thomas noted, it gives more people an opportunity to speak.
Absolutely.
And the presiding officer of the council will be able to extend that if necessary. This is not without precedent. County council does it, for 3 minutes. I don't foresee, speaking for my own behalf, I don't foresee refusing anyone the time they need to make their point, if they need to make it, any and all. So, okay, so that's where I stand on it.
Yeah.
All those, is there any more discussion? All right, and all those in favor of the motion, which as amended, removes a cap, says 3 minute, goes from 5 minute max, per speaker to 3 minute max with the option of the presiding officer or the vote of council to extend it beyond that. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so it passed 5-2. Okay, that's first reading. And I will note there's a second reading and a, public hearing that will be attached to this at the next meeting.
Which you'll still be allowed to speak 5 minutes after.
That's right.
You will. Or 10 if you let you.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, now we have discussion and interaction items, approval of a design build team for a community center. And Ms. Myers, that is to you, I think you were to make a committee, had asked that you, PRT committee had asked that you make a recommendation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The PRT committee did meet last week and reviewed the top 2 finalists that the review panel, staff members had vetted and presented. And at that meeting, the vote was for staff to just offer a recommendation tonight, and so we have done that. I just wanna say that the quality that we got was outstanding, and it was a really tough decision, on a lot of these, but ultimately, with the timeline projected, the design builder fee that was presented, and the workload capacity that they had, how many other projects that we're working on there where they could spend extra time with ours. We are asking that you consider the Hogan team, which also includes GMC Architects, Studio Maine, and Kimley Horn as part of their design and construction overall team. We ask that you consider them for awarding to build and design, should say design and build the new community center.
Is there a motion we accept the recommendation? The recommendation was the Hogan team, correct?
Correct.
And just to sum up, there were 7?
There were 7 submitted, correct.
7 that bid on, and staff, tell us who were the deciding members of staff.
The review team comprised of Ashley Jones, our finance director, Olivia Vassy, our PRT director, and myself.
Were you all in agreement on that?
We were. With the top 3, we went back and asked for some clarification on several items that we weren't really clear on, dealing with either their adequate time that they could do the project, what their workload was for these particular teams, but then also some clarification on their design build fee of what would be charged, so what we would not be using for the construction because we're paying for services. And then from that, it was down to 2. We really would be happy with either one of those 2, but again, because of that timeline and the number of other projects that they were working on and that fee, we ultimately are asking to go with Hogan. And we've worked with many of them in the past, and they were very successful relationships with them. Same with the other.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions? Mr. Thomas, any questions? Ms. Melendez, Mr. John? Is there a motion that we accept the recommendation of the city administrator that we?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Okay, so there's a motion, there's a second. Any more discussion? I will say that I know the names of those who submitted, and you had some quality organizations competing for this project. And that speaks well to your ability to get the word out, and it speaks well to the attractiveness of Walhalla and doing business in Walhalla, even in that aspect as a contractor. So, well done.
Well, we're have a second chance. We're about to put out another one.
Good. Have a police station going. Right?
That's right.
Motion and a second, any more discussion? If none, let's all signify by, those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we agree to that, motion, to that, contract, alright? Now we are looking at executive session. Hear a motion, we go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all for coming. We're discussing personnel and contractual matters in executive session.
Good to see you.